Hey guys, Jay. Welcome back to the channel. Wow, guys, this has been one crazy week for toys. I mean, like so many different things have been happening around pretty much the entire toy sphere. It's just been absolutely nuts. Lots of new announcements, lots of sightings, lots of things that are just happening on the go, and even toy shows are starting to, for whatever reason, this thing's not positioned properly. Even a bunch of toy shows which are starting to come around because, of course, especially here in Canada, the weather is getting better. We're hitting double digits up here, and you know the snow is all melted. Everything's going crazy. The birds are singing, all that jazz. But that also means that people are going to go out of hibernation and start hunting for those toys, vintage, brand new collectibles, all that kind of stuff. And it just so happens that my very special guest tonight, friend of the channel, of course, has just, I caught him setting up his booth over at a toy show tonight. And you know what? I wanted to bring him in and get his opinion on some of the crazy events that have been going around, some really exciting stuff that's been happening, and some really crazy things, developments that have been happening in the wrestling world, as well as a whole bunch of other things that are going on in and around the toy world. Guys, please help me welcome my very good friend, Ken from Toy Kennections. What's going on, Ken?
So I gotta make one clarification. When I hibernate, it's to go to the toy show. It's the other way around for me.
Ken doesn't hibernate. Ken lives the toy sphere. Ken is part of the toy sphere. He is the toy sphere. So Ken, talk us through this. Where the hell are you?
So I'm in a hotel room in Victoria, British Columbia. I live in Vancouver. Victoria is across the water on Vancouver Island. So you got to drive to the ferry terminal, take the ferry, arrive at the what do you call it? Drive to the toy fair itself. It's a 225 table show. It runs for 2 days. I'm a vendor there with my buddy Chung, and we're setting up on the Friday night. So if I'm setting up on a Friday night, what does that mean? I probably missed all the toy news for the day because I was either traveling, setting up, catching up with people, and even part of my toy haul is sitting just a few inches off frame that I'll show you in a bit. So I know I've missed some toy news, but for you G.I. Joe fans out there, you might recognize what this is.
Ooh, what have we here? Look at that.
This is the Sears exclusive Crimson Attack Tank from the 1980s. So it's wow. Something I found here on day 0, not even day 1 of the show. So
wow, not even the toy store. The toy show hasn't even started, and Ken's already hunting toys. He's getting a jump on everybody. Absolutely crazy. Now you are over at what's the toy show called again?
Oh, Victoria's Ultimate Hobby and Toy Fair. They do it twice a year. There it is.
Cool.
There it is.
That's a new one. So like 260 tables, you said? Like it's
225-ish. I know sometimes they can get up to 240 if you count the food trucks and like miscellaneous carnival area. But it's usually over 200, averages at about 225. It's run by our good friends over at Cherry Bomb Toys. So thanks to them for putting this event on twice a year. It's only been back since 2022 because it was completely shut down in 2020, 2021. So yeah, that's some of the old photos. That's exactly where I was today. That's not today's show, but that's the field house.
It looks like a giant rec center. It's freaking huge.
Yeah, I think they call it a field house. It's like the size of an arena, basically. I think it's 26 or 27,000 square feet. So yeah, it'll be 2 days worth of toy hunting. Not all the vendors are there yet, so I know I'll be doing some more hunting tomorrow. There's a couple of things I got my eye on. I got some carded Visionaries tonight. There's some boxed Transformers at the show. There was some boxed Star Wars I was looking at. There's boxed Joes at the table next to me. Like, there's so much to see, so much to do. Good thing I brought things to sell so I can actually, have some shopping money for this. But yeah.
Crazy stuff. Look at all this. That's insane, man. Lots of cosplayers going to be there. Lots of people just hanging out and having fun. That's excellent. Wow.
Absolutely.
So it runs from today. It runs just all weekend, or is it only on Saturday?
It runs all Saturday and Sunday, and then Sunday night I hit the ferry back.
All right, cool. And tickets are Available at the door, $5 each day. Runs from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. every day. Actually, wait, no, it runs Saturday. The early bird is at 8 a.m.
Yeah.
And then runs until 3 p.m. And early birds are $15, but includes the weekend pass. So that's
so it's 10:15 p.m. where I am right now. I got to be at the arena by 7 a.m. tomorrow to get the doors open for 8 with the rest of the crew. And but nothing keeps me away from toys. So when Mega J says, here's a StreamYard link, I'm like, okay, I'll hop on for 30 minutes or so. Then I'll get ready for bed. I'll probably be wired. I probably won't sleep much, but then it's toy show time. So
all right, guys. So if you are in the Victoria area, the actual what's the location again? It is at the 3100
Tillicum Road.
3100 Tillicum Road in Victoria, BC. Guys, definitely check it out. Wow, 223 vendors. Literally wall-to-wall toys. This is a lot of fun to actually be there. April 15th and 16th. So guys, be there. Early bird starts at 8 a.m. And our good friend Ken of Toy Kennections will be there, peddling his wares. What are you selling tomorrow, Ken? What anything?
Actually, if you look at the Instagram message that I sent you, there should be a photo in there of my booth. Actually.
Oh, is that right? There is a photo of your booth. How could I forget that? Let me just bring that up for everybody to see what Ken's got.
And because I'm on my mobile device, I can't actually see the chat, so I'm just gonna say a quick hello to a few folks while you're doing that. My buddy's Customs is there. Frankie Rivera. A lot of people. Natural Nate. Oh yeah, I recognize a lot of names in here. Ramen's there. Nolan's there. Wow, Rhea Black. A lot of our good friends there. I know I missed a few names there. It's hard to scroll on my phone. But there's my booth. So
let's see if we can identify a few things here. I see Omega Supreme boxed.
That's my buddy's Omega Supreme. Yeah.
Nice. I see a couple of what's it called? There's a G.I. Joe. What is that? I'm not really sure what that is. And then
that's the tin for an Action Force item.
Action Force, got you. And is that an X Transbots? What is that? Function 8?
That's an X Transbots Skull Cruncher.
Nice, that's good. We also got which masterpiece is that? Is that Soundwave?
Soundwave, the 13 Soundwave, MP13 Soundwave.
MP13, got you. I can see Optimus Prime's trailer over there, probably full of Optimus as well.
Optimus is laying down. I'll set him up in the morning.
Nice.
Thanks for the reminder.
Absolutely. We also got some nice baggies. We got a bunch of G.I. Joes in here. I think I see Sergeant Universe. That's either Wild Bill or Sergeant Slaughter right there.
That's Wild Bill. You got some Motu there. You got some wrestlers on the far.
A whole bunch of LJNs. Love it. Yeah. Right. We got Buzz Off right there. I can see him. There's Cringer or Battle Cat, depending on how you want to look at it. Some crazy stuff here. Ooh, check it out. It's the board game for the Attack on Hoth. So that one comes with the exclusive. Is it Luke Skywalker? Is the
it's a Snowspeeder pilot. I kept the Snowspeeder pilot. I had no use for the board game, so I'm just gonna get rid of the board game for $10.
We see Soto Shredder here. Yeah. So Secret of the Use Shredder. We see I think that's who is that? Is that I know it's Marvel Legends, but
well, there's the thing was back there. I'm not sure if that's what we're looking at.
That might be the thing.
It's the thing. It's a Toy Biz Series 2 thing.
Yep. I see a couple of Eternian guards, a whole bunch of wrestling figures, lots and lots of wrestling, of course. And then just a lot of bags, man. A whole bunch of WWE and WCW and everything under the sun.
Transformers, Marvel Legends, yeah.
Yep, looking great. This is awesome stuff. Wow. And a couple of Back to the Future knickknacks here and there, just beautiful. And we even got some $5 bins, I guess, or
bins just below the table for stuff that couldn't fit. But if enough sells on Saturday, I'll restock from the bins for Sunday. It's not like I can go home to my garage and restock from there.
So guys, definitely check out Ken's booth, Toy Kennections booth. And who's your buddy again?
My buddy Chung. He brought some Transformers. He's trying to get some shut eye over to my left here since we're sharing a hotel room, but he can sleep through a hurricane. I'm different, right? If a
Absolutely.
mouse squeaks, I'll wake up, no matter how deep asleep I'm in.
All right. So normally I'd shout everybody out, but Ken's done a bit of that shout out right now. But Ken has to go, so we are going to cover a few things before he has to jet out of here. So Ken, first off, I think I was going to start with Ramen Toy, but I think in the spirit of your booth, I'll go ahead and cover something which I don't think you were aware of this afternoon. Apparently, Mattel Creations has made some moves with their latest campaign for their WCW Ultimate Edition ring. Did you hear anything about this for today?
Nothing.
Nothing at all. Nothing at all. Okay.
Nothing. I was packing bins, setting up that booth, traveling, eating, finding Crimson Attack tanks, and finding carded visionaries and whatever else I was looking for at the show.
Okay, so as a lot of us may know, WCW Monday Nitro stage has been running for the last, I think it's been 8 days now, 8 or 9 days, and in that time they had an early bird special with Hulk Hogan. That has since elapsed. Their target was to reach 5,000 backers in 1 week, and unfortunately they did not reach that goal. So Hulk Hogan, the Ultimate Hulk Hogan, is off the table. Earlier, I think it was either yesterday or today, they made an announcement, which really kind of not that any of us were actually expecting it, but at the same time, I think it'll help a little bit. But I would be remiss. What the heck just happened there? Okay, I switched it to America. I know I did that. I don't know why I didn't do it. There it is. The unfortunate thing about that is, ever since Hulk Hogan was taken off the table, the numbers have not moved one bit. It was at 40% when Hogan was taken off the table, and it's only gone up about 1 percentage point, which is scary. Like, there's 21 days left, but that's still really, really scary. So in response to that, I believe it was either earlier today, April 14th. No, it was last night. So or late yesterday.
It's still today for me. So
yeah. So over at Toy News International, which is a great resource for toy news all year round, guys, definitely give them a like and a follow. Tell them that Jay sent you. Toy Newman has reported earlier on April 14th that the WCW Ultimate Edition, the WWE Ultimate Edition WCW Monday Nitro Enter Stage campaign has an update via Steve Ozer that big Papa Pump Scott Steiner has now been added to the $5,000 backer minimum. So this means that you will not just, once they reach their target goal of 5,000 figures, 5,000 backers, not only will you receive Rey Mysterio along with the WCW Monday Nitro ring, you will actually also receive where are they? There it is. Scott Steiner and Rey Mysterio will be actually included at the 5,000 backer goal. What thoughts on this new development, Ken? What the heck's going on?
I'm 99% sure Scott Steiner as Big Papa Pump has never been released in the Mattel line, let alone in an Ultimate Edition style. I searched high and low. I could not find a Scott Steiner figure when I was building my NWO collection a couple of years back. This is big for wrestling fans to get a Scott Steiner. Adding it to the base unlock, to the base tier, that is something a lot of people would want a Scott Steiner. Like, even if they'd made a version and only one version, it would have skyrocketed a lot by now. So this is a big incentive and a bold move by Mattel. The Scott Steiner figure I have is from the TNA appearance of Scott Steiner. It's in scale, a little bit of a different style, look stylistically, but that was like one of the only Scott Steiners, if not the only Scott Steiner you could get in the 6.5, almost 7-inch scale. So this is a bold move by Mattel. But I will say this. No, this is a better move than what I was going to say, because I know you're going to touch on the Ramen Racer, but I remember when they weren't able to get the early unlock for Robbie Reyes, they still kind of switched it up so that they said, okay, you get the Ghost Rider figure, but instead of getting a Robbie Reyes separate figure, we'll do a swappable head. If you recall, this is kind of the same move. except they're giving us something that we want, like really, really want. I'm not saying people don't want Robbie Reyes, but wrestling fans want Big Papa Pump, right? He's a must-have for a lot of collectors. So it's a bold move. It will move the needle. I'm not sure whether it'll move it to 100%. You know, they may have to do something else. But you also seen situations with HasLab, like when the Sky Striker was floundering a little bit. But I'm pretty sure it was more than 40%. And then they added the Mickey Mouse Cobra Commander, the Ramp Rat, and the Cobra Trooper to the base tier. So you've seen HasLab do it a couple of times. Mattel Creations must have taken a page out of their playbook, and they've moved the right figure to this base tier because he's the one we haven't seen before. Diamond Dallas Page, we've seen him in the Elite and the Legends style. We haven't seen him in the Ultimate Edition style, but for anyone who's not a wrestling fan, it's all the same scale. So that's huge. It's a big move.
So just to clarify what Ken is talking about, the pivoting seems to be something which companies are starting to identify and recognize as an important move. Mattel this is the second time Mattel has tried something like this. The third. This is actually the third time Mattel has actually tried something like this. The third time, and I'll explain that in a second. So the first time that this happened was actually with another WWE project. So the first time they tried pivoting, of course, was with the first iteration of the Ultimates ring. The
new generation ring, yeah,
the new generation ring. It wasn't picking up steam the way they were expecting it to. And what ended up happening is they ended up pivoting and actually offered an early bird incentive, which included Randy Macho Man Savage, two announcers seats, two microphones, two monitors, and a what's it called, a folding table. Right?
Table. Yeah, you're right. They have done this before.
They have done that in one iteration. And the second time they did something like this, it wasn't exactly the same. The second time they tried to incentivize Master Universe fans to really get the Eternia full tier set over the hump by offering during their live stream the idea that if all tiers were unlocked, everyone would receive King Grayskull instead of just being an early bird.
Yeah. That was more of a slight pivot rather than a full pivot. You're right.
And I recognize that, but they still did something. Now that was a wonderful nod to the fans. However, it sort of backfired because it seemed as if a lot of the community felt it was disingenuous, seeing as the people who backed it first did not have the availability to do to have a payment plans. Everybody who backed the early bird backer for King Grayskull paid full price, and then after King Grayskull was unlocked, all of a sudden the PayPal option unlocked for multiple payments, and I think people were upset. I think that's actually what happened. People were actually upset,
and rightfully so.
Yeah. Which again, it's a very tricky game that you play with these things. This though, this is another pivot. This one is an obvious pivot, because we had Hogan as an early bird, and Rey Mysterio was second. I believe Diamond Dallas Page was third, and Big Papa Pump was fourth, and then the Ultimate Warrior. So it's really interesting that their fourth tier. It would be the third tier unlock if we're really talking real numbers. The third tier unlock, which again is one of the more desirable ones, has now come and actually become the inclusion at 5,000, which to me it seems a little bit more like they need a guarantee at this stage. It's not a Hail Mary yet, but they're looking to get this thing back at least to the 5,000 mark, right? But it is quite the ask. I'm really at this stage saying that this is quite the ask. I mean, you're looking at $400 US for this particular ask. Now this helps this helps soften the blow a bit. I think WWE figures in the US are what, $22 now, if I'm not mistaken.
The Ultimate Editions are probably more like $32 now.
I'm not sure if they're that expensive. Maybe 20, maybe 28. But
You're
okay,
thinking the elites. The elites are probably 22 to 24. The ultimate editions are $32 now, I
are
believe.
they that
Some of them
expensive
for
in the US?
50%.
I didn't think they were that expensive in the US. I thought they were a little
Are
bit
they
cheaper.
not? Okay, if they're not 32, then they're 30.
Okay. All right. Well, you know what? You're a little bit more knowledgeable on that aspect of
We're
it.
gonna
So
see if somebody in the chat's already corrected me or not. And my finger might not be fully on the pulse.
I'm pretty
I think it
sure.
needs to be.
I'm pretty sure somebody's might have already said something. But you know what? Regardless. Okay. So National Night Marvel does say that it is 35.
Okay, that
So
makes sense
you
because
are correct.
it was 30 to 32 when I was buying them from ringside, like back in like 20 at the
Got
end
you.
of
Got
2021.
you.
So
Okay.
it's probably gone up a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So
that would make sense. Thank you, Nate.
yeah, got you. Of course. Thank you so much, Nate. Too. So two of these figures are about almost $100, right? There, that's 70. They're about $70 between the pair.
100 Canadian almost. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, $70 plus taxes. You're looking at about $80 probably something like that,
yeah.
right?
So 100
So
Canadian.
that's close. That's getting closer to $100 for the two figures.
Yeah,
Not quite as close, but it's getting closer. So if we were to take that into consideration, the ring is now more or less 310, 320 for the stage. That's a
yeah,
little bit easier to swallow than the 400. Um, they have 21 days left, 41% funded, which did move up. I don't know how. I don't know how because it wasn't 40. It was stuck at 40 for the longest time. Okay, and now it's gone up to 41%. So this seems to be a problem though for many for many big companies when they ever do crowdsourcing. I don't think they know how to market these things outside of their own social sphere. And it's up to us because that's actually what happened with the New Generations ring. I found out about it in its second week, and by then it was already floundering, right? And I remember around the time I started talking about it, other wrestling toy and wrestling toy channels started talking about it. Did you talk about the New Generation ring on your channel at all, Kim?
no. I mean, I come here to talk breaking news. I come here or Sergeant Slaughterhouse to break news. I rarely do it on my own unless it's ramen stuff. Then sometimes I will, which I guess pivots us sort of to our next topic. But I know we're still talking about the Nitro stage, but no, I didn't talk about the ring on Toy Kennections at all.
Yeah, because Kyle Peterson. I remember around the time I did my video. About a day later, Kyle got into it, and that surprised me because I figured he would be one of the ones on top of it right away. But I think what happened was we all of us started recognizing, and I'm not really a big wrestling guy, but I looked at this thing and I'm like, you know what, this harkens to me because it's around the generation that I was still watching, and
Yeah,
and I was looking at this and I'm like, why is nobody talking about this thing? Like it had already been up for about a week and a half, and I had heard nothing about this, right?
Yeah, I think a toy kind of mood may have touched on it a little bit because I know Travis is a big wrestling fan, but I'm not sure because he streams on a Tuesday night and I'm not always available then. So it's like,
Yeah,
yeah, but
yeah.
you're right. There seem to be less people talking about it, and I think Kyle Peterson might have just gotten to it when he got a chance because Kyle usually just does figure reviews, right? That's
Yeah,
kind of his main
but
thing, or toy room tours. So
yeah,
like, yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
But around that time, last year or the year before, when we finally started talking about it, that's I think when people started to notice, but it still didn't move the needle enough, and I think that was the problem. So Mattel actually made that pivot, and things really started to move at that stage. Luckily, so because they finally got I'm not sure if they reached all their tiers. I think they did, but just barely. I know that they got Doink, they got Diesel, they got
Diesel.
the side skirts. You know what I mean? They got a whole bunch of stuff, but I think
Yeah.
that they were just shy of Doink 2 or something like that, or Mini Doink or something. Like
I think they got the. Oh, you mean his sidekick Dink the
that.
Clown?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure, but we could go with the history. But this one, I think, and by that time they were already just about to end. They were in the last week before. Because they created an early bird, right, and that's actually what happened, and that really did kick them into high gear. This
Yeah,
one,
and it was the addition of Macho Man from that 1993 New Generation era time period. Like it wasn't Macho King, and it wasn't like the 80s Macho Man that won the title. Like it was literally his appearance during the time when he was mostly just an announcer.
Mhm.
So
But it did really help to move the whole campaign along. Now with this introduction, of Scott Steiner, although as you said, it can move the needle. The real big problem here is that there's just not enough news about it. I mean, I'm not even sure Kyle has talked about it just yet. And again, like I said, um, more people have to start talking about this if this is going to go anywhere. Because right now, I think it's still in danger of obscurity at this stage. Because I think
oh,
when
it very much is. They need a late play similar to what the Sky Striker did, right? They really need both here. They need that Macho Man move, which is kind of early-ish in the campaign. They need that late move that the Sky Striker did. They need both. Right?
Absolutely. And I think they really need more social media on this. I think a lot of people need to share this. If you are interested in, so guys, just letting everybody else out there know, once again, if you are interested in the WCW Nitro entrance stage, don't sleep on this, because honestly, it does sound like a lot. And you know what? We're all guilty of it. We're all guilty of actually waiting until the very, very last second to back these things. But honestly, this is getting scary. They're 41% funded. They haven't really moved the needle that much. Now, let me ask you this, though, Ken. There are going to be the people, a lot of the ones who we already know are going to talk about this. What are your thoughts specifically about the idea that if we hold out long enough, they're going to throw something else in? And what is your general idea? Is that even a good idea? What are your thoughts, Kim?
I think in this case, I still don't think, even if people back it, it's not going fast enough, because Scott Steiner is going to appeal to the wrestling collectors who are not so much casual collectors. Because when a lot of casual collectors I know, they do one of two things or both. They get the main characters from the 80s and the main characters from the Attitude Era. It's more the deeper collectors who go and get a Scott Steiner. And for those fans, every single one of them wants a Scott Steiner. But do all of them have $400 US? So I think it doesn't really matter. If people start jumping on, it's not going to move the needle from 41% to 100%. So should we hold out for more? If we do hold out for more, then that Hail Mary play at the end is going to be like a big time Hail Mary play. Like they're going to do something like, okay, you can do swappable like WCW Thunder entrance all of a sudden. Like they'll just throw in a bunch of like things you can change. So now instead of the Nitro stage, you've got the Thunder stage, right? That's what I think. So if you hold out for more, I think you'll get a better Hail Mary, but I think they're going to do a Hail Mary regardless. That makes sense. So that's where I'm at. This thing on? You still there, Jay? Or did you freeze up? Am I gonna have to or am I talking to myself now? Here, let's check in with the chat, because I think is the chat moving? Or did my hotel Wi-Fi die out?
No, I'm here. I was just getting a tea.
oh, you thought I was going to what do you call it, soapbox for a bit longer. So okay, that's fine. I thought for a second that
all right, National Red Marvel, thank you so much for the $5 super chat, my friend. Mattel needs to add Ric Flair and his Gucci loafer being thrown into the crowd. Could Ric Flair? Was Ric Flair even? He was in WCW for a little while, wasn't he? I'm trying to remember.
He spent most of his time in NWA.
Yep.
And then WCW, and then he spent a few years in WWE, went back to WCW, and then came back to WWE after they were bought out. So, yeah.
Could again? Thank you, Natural Name Marvel. Could an inclusion of Ric Flair move the needle at all? Do you think? Because again, now we're getting into the idea of what could possibly be thrown in.
We've already received Ric Flair in the pink robe in the Ultimate Edition style.
Yep.
We've seen a few different versions of him in either Defining Moments or other lines. You do see Clint here says, like, even if they threw in the Steiner Brothers, Road Warriors, and the whole NWO, this wouldn't fun. they'd have a better chance if they both Steiner brothers.
Yeah, but he's saying not even that would move.
No, that's what I'm saying. They'd have a better chance if they did, and they haven't made enough editions of the Road Warrior / Legion of Doom. Like they seem to have made them, and then they go up in price. They go into high demand. Years later, they release them again. They don't seem to get them often enough. But I wonder if the Road Warriors could move the needle if they were to throw those in, because they have that tooling, but they don't have it in Ultimate Edition tooling. But anyway, that sparks some conversation though, right? But they'd have a chance. Like I don't know if it'll fun, but they'd have a chance if they made a Hail Mary play like that.
It would be interesting. Pickle D asks, do you think they are so desperate to fund it by any means necessary? The tooling, I'm not going to say. So what we see, on display. I mean, it's a prototype. We don't know if it's actually completely tooled or not. However, I do have to say that there's a lot of money being put into that particular thing, no matter what. I mean, the research and development to actually get that thing going, the money's been spent. Do I think that they're actually going to go all the way? I don't think so. I think that I think they're going to try and get this to 5,000, and they've already tossed in 2 figures. Do I think they'll toss in a third if it doesn't reach 5,000? My opinion is no. I think that I think that Scott Steiner is actually a very sought after figure at this stage, and they don't really need, if they can't do it with Scott, it's a bit of a stretch. Like I think the only thing I would be willing, if it were me, the only thing I would be willing to do is add swappable banners. I think that's probably the biggest.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. They could do the swappable WCW Thunder banners, right? I mean, so it's WCW, so I was trying to think of what kind of Hail Mary play they could do that they haven't done to a specific WCW character.
With an extra figure, it just cuts into the profit of 5,000, right? I mean, like they're like already with Scott. I think they're gonna, okay. Let's make this clear. Every single one of these figures we see on display has already been done. They've got the tooling, they've got everything. They're going to be released somewhere down the line. Okay. Whether it be a year from now, like next year, or whatever it is, those figures are going to come out. You're gonna see the Ultimate Warrior. You're gonna see Scott Steiner. You're gonna see Diamond Dallas Page. You're gonna see Rey Mysterio, and that Hogan. I'm pretty sure he's been released a bunch of times already. But that the ones with the crow feet on his eyes, I think that's probably something else, right? But they will come out eventually, okay? Because that tooling's been done. Throwing in another figure to me wouldn't make any economical sense for these guys at this stage. I don't think it would work for them. I think that this is pretty much it, and anything else is going to be cosmetic, right? Maybe an additional light pattern. You know what I mean? Like you said, the banners. I think that's really where things are going to come in. And you know what? I think if for me, I think I would throw in some soft goods for Steiner or for Rey Mysterio, just to give something else. But I think that's as far as I can go. I don't know. What are your thoughts, Ken?
What about that? A Nitro announcers table.
That, you know what? If it's just a table, that's what, you're good. That is a really good point. If it's just if it's the table, if it's the monitors, if it's a gimme, right? And it seems a little bit desperate, but you know what? That actually is not a bad option, right? What you would need, though, in my opinion, actually they did it with the original one. The stretchable skirt on the table has to be very specific to Nitro, right? I think that's really important, right?
So I'm going to take it one further, and it's just going to eat into the profits more, so it's probably asking too much.
Okay.
Put a Bobby the Brain Heenan at that table.
Oh, my God. Oh, geez, Louise. Oh, my gosh. You know what? You got me there. I
was thinking Tony Schiavone, but Tony Schiavone is currently an announcer for AEW, so would they go that far? Because would they need to license his likeness? Does he have a Legends contract with WWE like some others do? So anyway, but Bobby Heenan, they've got that. They've got the head sculpt from previous Legends or Elite releases. I don't know what kind of which body they could use in an Ultimate Edition style to get him.
Who was the president of WCW? He was doing the
Bischoff?
McMahon. Yeah, Bischoff? He was doing the McMahon thing for a while, right?
Eric Bischoff. Yeah.
Is there any value in having him as a figure?
I think they've announced him in a later wave. I don't know if it's Ultimate Edition. I think they announced him in the Elite wave. So he's coming anyway.
Okay.
Bobby Heenan's been made too, but it's been a long time. So
Yeah, you know what? If you already got the tooling, if he's already there, give him a different color. You know what I mean? Put a pattern on his outfit. I think you could make that work. And you know what? If that being the case, Ken, I agree with you. Yeah, throw in a Bobby Heenan. I think that would be the ultimate pivot, and it doesn't lose you any money really because the figure's already been out there. So just
yeah,
give him,
but the torso for Ultimate Edition is very specific. So you'd have to find somebody who has that type of build for the torso. So you'd need to tool the torso as well. But you already have a head and you already have arms and legs from the Elite. So anyway,
well, you know what?
man.
It's a I'm pretty sure the years that have been going on for WCW at Mattel and WWE. I think that there's probably a body out there that could be slightly retooled for that. Eric Elecman, Hail Mary on this would not spark new buyers and people that collect / or love the Nitro era and aren't backing this. They probably won't ever back this. I don't know about that, Eric. I think that the stage is iconic. You know what I mean? Because when I saw that stage, my eyes, like, I'm not the biggest WCW fan, but I got to tell you, I got shook when I saw that thing. When I saw it move and I saw it thing, I was actually I was like, whoa, what the hell? Actually, coming to think about it now, Ken, do you think, just out of curiosity, do you think adding a sound box to this would actually do something? Because correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't there a unique WCW entrance like whenever they did the Nitro? Wasn't there an intro music for Nitro?
Yeah.
Yeah,
There was a very specific Nitro entrance
yeah.
music. I'm not sure. Is there not already something included, or is it just
No,
light? I think
no,
it's
it's
just
only
light.
light. It's
So
only light.
there's no sound blocks. But I got to be honest. I have a feeling that whatever Hail Mary they do, this may pull a Rancor where it gets close to the end. It gets just 90-something% funded, and you just run out of time. And if you had a couple, I feel like that's the way this is going. Like, I have a feeling it's not gonna fund, but they'll pull a Hail Mary to get it to the Rancor. Oh, we almost got it. Right. I hate to be pessimistic, but I have a feeling that's what's going to happen, unless they blow us out of the water with the Hail Mary, right?
Yeah, it would have to be one hell of a one right
Because
now.
I don't think Scott Steiner is the Hail Mary. This is to get you onto the right side of the football field so that you can do it.
Paul Edwards says, "I've always said the crowdfunding stuff needs to come back with a figure or two, or instead of tiers with extra figures, the price goes down to the more people back." And this is true, Paul. But like, when you pivot in this way, you're already losing confidence. Like, not that people don't want Scott, right? But the reality is, it just gives these weird little signals to people. Is like, how much trouble is this campaign in that they have to throw in a figure, right? It just gives these little tells that the higher ups are kind of getting worried, and that actually has led to a lot of people saying, "Hold out, and we'll get more." That's actually what was.
I think there's two things here, though, right? Scott appears to the people who are already deeply collecting wrestling and have the Scott Steiner void in their collection. Casual collectors who might want the stage, but only want to collect the really staple WCW guys like Ric Flair, like Diamond Dallas Page. Because you got to bear in mind, Scott Steiner didn't become Big Papa Pump until later in the Monday Night Wars, right? So you're not quite getting that casual fan who may. And maybe I'm talking out of two sides of my mouth here, because a casual fan might not spend $400 on a Nitro stage, so maybe you have to rely on the hardcore fan. But you almost need. That's why I said Bobby Heenan, because then a casual fan will remember Heenan not just from the Nitro era, the Weasel, yeah, but also from the original WWE era, the WrestleMania, Rise of WrestleMania. I mean, maybe I'm blowing smoke here, but I just feel like you need to hook both the casual collector and the deeper, more committed hardcore collector, which is what I think they're doing with Big Papa Pump. So
I totally agree. I'm definitely on board with that. Right now, I think that Scott Steiner is the good move. And what I'm thinking right now is that the social media hasn't caught up yet. I mean, I just found this out today. It was announced yesterday, right? And I found, and what's it called? Toy News International wrote about it yesterday, but I don't think enough people know. Like, I just checked Kyle Peterson's YouTube. There's no news on that. I think when he gets on top of this, well, because he does a news segment. I believe it's in the middle of the week, but he has been known to do emergency announcements when something like this happens.
What about Nerdzoic? I wonder if Nerdzoic's covered it yet.
Well, Nerdzoic would definitely be a good one to cover it, but so would Robo. The Foosh, he's a huge wrestling fan, right?
Robo
So,
would be able to cover it,
if Robo gets on top of this tomorrow, which is Saturday, I think tomorrow things could change, because once Robo makes an announcement on this with his audience and the wrestling connections that he has, and and I'm pretty sure they pretty knowing how close they are with Pixel Dan, I think when Pixel Dan talks about this, I think it'll start to move the needle a little bit faster.
Now, talking within our own circle of friends right now, do Toy Habits and Toy Sorceress Michael, do they not stream every Saturday as well?
Yes, I mean, like I could definitely put in a good word and just remind them to at least talk about it a little bit on their shows for tomorrow and for Sunday.
Yeah, and you never know. Like Jay and John at Geek Dad Life may decide to touch on this on.
Yeah,
on
they
Toy
probably
Geek.
already have aspirations of doing it already, but I'll remind them. You know what I mean? I was going to do it anyway, but thank you for that, Kenneth.
Yeah, right. And then you roll into Tuesday with Toy Anxiety after that. I'm just saying, like the chain is there, right? Just within the people that we know.
We have to give this just like what I was saying with the New Generations ring. We have to try and give this thing a chance, right? Because and that's like I'm not the biggest wrestling guy in the world, but I figured the offer, even for me, I was like, man, the offerings on this New Generations ring are actually pretty damn good. The like Diesel wasn't the best character to put in the front facing. Doink was okay, but I said to myself, you know what, the price is right for the New Generations ring, and I thought
that was it.
Yeah, and that's where I was coming from. I was like, anybody into wrestling, this is a steal. Like you should really consider it. And then they threw in the early bird, and it was off to the races.
So and you got to bear in mind the New Generation era from 1993 to 1997 was the less popular era compared to the 80s golden boom that came before it and the Attitude / Monday Night Wars that came after. So the fact that funded probably gave Mattel the confidence they could do this Nitro thing, because ultimately I think what they really want to do is a Raw stage or a Raw ring or something, or a Saturday night's main event ring is I think what they really want to do. So they're kind of like they're kind of chinsing this incrementally. They're going, they're going New Generation, then Nitro, right? Just Nitro, right? Nothing WWE related there, and then giving us the peak WWE eras later on.
Absolutely. Now, this is interesting. Eric Leckman says Mattel should have advertised this during WrestleMania. They did. Believe it or not, they actually had the Nitro stage at WrestleMania. Some people saw it there. But the excitement around WrestleMania is just palpable anyway. So just having a display there just was something. I mean, it got people excited. People were interested. But are those people who are going to spend $400 on this thing? Maybe not. Right? You got to get the hardest of hardest core fans. The one thing that really kind of got me, and it's kind of weird. I don't know if you noticed this or if you even bothered watching this, Ken. But if you refresh the page at any time, you'll notice that they actually did a live stream event, and you can see it playing here. And the problem with this live stream event, in my opinion, it was not exciting at all. I mean, they had some of the designers come in. They had Diamond Dallas Page. He was there. There was no music in the background. It was mostly silent. It was just them talking about the ring and its overall details. It didn't excite me when I was watching the broadcast. I was like, you know what, guys, you need to talk more about the history of this thing. You need to talk about why. You got to talk about some of the greatest entrances that happened on this stage. To his DDP did do that. He talked about some of his greatest entrances, some of the things that he did when he walked on the stage. The fact that he was ambushed a couple of times, things like that, right? But to me, just wasn't enough. You know what I mean? It wasn't sexy. It really wasn't sexy. And you compare that to the presentation they did for Eternia. They literally got a social media YouTube influencer, and she was actually on point. She knew everything about the set. She did her homework. If she wasn't collecting this thing, which I was surprised, she actually knew everything about it, and she really did a great job. Not that these guys didn't do a great job. They're very knowledgeable, but you could tell that they were actually part of the process of bringing this out. And to me, it was everybody do yourself a favor. take some time, watch that stream, and let me know what you guys think of that actual stream when that happens. So just, it's easy. Go on to MattelCreations.com. It'll start auto-playing right away. We've talked a lot about this, and of course, we could continue talking about this all night, Ken. Really quickly, though, is this enough? Are they doing the right thing by doing this, and is it enough?
They're doing the right thing. What they need is a touchdown. They've just made it to the next first down is all they've done. They need that touchdown, and if it gets too close, they're going to need a Hail Mary.
Gotcha.
So,
yeah. It sure. Speaking of touchdowns, Goldberg. I don't know. There are a ton of Goldbergs right now. I think that's not exactly what it is. NYC Figure Fanatic. Personally, I think the size is what really off-putting the casual collector. If you aren't hardcore into the wrestling figures, you are really going to make space for this gigantic stage. This is actually not untrue. I mean, like, this thing is freaking massive. I mean, this big guy here, he takes up quite the footprint. You know what I mean? And the
Super 7,
yeah. And the Nitro stage is just about the same size. Like if all things being equal, it's in the ballpark of that.
It's a big boy.
Yeah, it is a big boy. All right, I know you have to get going pretty soon, Ken.
You know what? If you want to chat a little bit about were you going to jump to Ramen next?
I wanted to touch on Ramen Toy.
Really okay, quickly. I know Ace is in the chat. He's a buddy of ours, and I haven't had a chance to congratulate him on some of the goals. So at least we get the chance to do it here. Yeah. Ace, I know we talk more often usually when I'm not traveling, but anyway. Yeah,
it's cool, and I know that you need to get your buddy's already fast asleep, but you need to.
I got a few minutes more. Okay. For you, Jay, anything.
Then we'll definitely touch on that. But before we get to there, Clint Jorgensen says, now every time you go to Mattel Creations, you can't pay with an Amex or PayPal. Those are my main pay methods. So, Clint, here's the thing: that's a lot of speculation going on for whatever stupid reason, because I don't think Mattel's thinking straight about this. A lot of people are speculating that they want the minimum funding to go through for the WCW ring before they open up the payment plans, similar to the way they did it with Eternia, which is dumb. That's a really dumb move, right? And I understand what they're trying to do. They're trying to get people locked in without, like, so that they don't cancel necessarily or whatever. But still, payment plans get people excited and get people to actually back your project. That's just my overall thing. Now, unfortunately, if they don't allow for Amex, that's terrible. That really is. I understand why. I think Amex's what's it called? Vendor payment is like 30% or something. It's ridiculous. It's really high for the vendor. So I see why they're not as jazzed to use Amex, but I think it is what it is, unfortunately. Okay, Ken. So I answered that one on my own, but let's take a look at the next major announcement that I wanted to talk about today. Guys, if you haven't already heard, and I'm shocked that you haven't, because every major, well, not major, but almost every single toy related YouTube out there who's connected somewhat, or at least interested somewhat in the Engine of Vengeance, as it was a hot button topic at one point, has at least touched on this to a certain degree, and I wanted to talk about it. Our good friends over at Ramen Toy have hit a major milestone today, earlier today, and Ken, I wanted to give a huge congratulations to them. I'm sure you do too. 1,000 Ramen Racers sold today. 9 hours ago, this was posted. Ken, what does this mean to us? This is absolutely incredible.
Ace is one of our own.
Absolutely.
One of the boys.
Absolutely.
And watching him succeed, like, independent of what happened with HasLab, right? We celebrate the victory of our friend, regardless of what HasLab did or didn't do, right? Do your victory lap, Ace. Just do it. Parade around with your trophy. We're gonna watch you. Like, have your moment.
There's more to come. There is more to come.
Oh, I know.
But along with this, and you know what, rightly so, celebrate the victories as they come, right? At 100%, Ken. But some great things were announced with this announcement of 1,000 Ramen racers sold. By the way, it does have to be it does have to be mentioned because there are a lot of questions going around for this particular this particular question continues to circle everyone's minds. It says that the first 1,000 customer orders will receive this flame head part as a bonus for supporting the Ramen Racer. So a lot of people have been asking the question: "Oh, you hit 1,000 sales. Is it over for the for the bonus flame head?" The answer is no. Apparently, there have been 1,000 Ramen Racers sold, but there have not been 1,000 customer orders, meaning that there have been multiple orders on per customer, which is incredible. That's amazing.
Well, I think he's counting both this one and the orange version, right? So some people might buy two. Is that how that works?
No, but that's what I mean. People are buying multiples, right?
Yeah.
So like for example, let's just give this as a really quick example. If everybody bought two, that means that there are only 500 customer orders, right? So that means that means by that math, there's another 500. Again, I'm just making numbers up right now. But if we were to go by that math, there's still another 500 open spots to pick up the flame head. By the way, as I understand it, if you buy multiples, you do get 3 heads, if I'm not mistaken. Now, Ace, you can correct me in the comment section below. Please let me know if that's not true. But I do believe that actually is the case. But that's very, very encouraging. The fact that you can still get in on the flaming head bonus for this particular project. That's amazing. Now, I did want to talk about some of the great new additions that came along with today's announcement. So earlier today on Ace's it's not a Victor Lap, but his live stream talking about the 1,000 Ramen Racers sold, he did mention that a couple of extras would be included. So as a bonus, they will be including a trunk ammo case.
Yeah.
And this ammo case fits in the back of the trunk. And what it's actually supposed to do is it's supposed to actually be a customized cover for the battery compartment. That's freaking amazing. You know what I mean? I'm not if Ace can actually comment on this. Okay, wait, there it is. Yeah, the giveaway is per car. So yes. So basically, if you order 3, you get 3 heads. That is amazing. Thank you, Ace. Not per customer. So thank you for that. Thank you for that. Okay. And sorry, these were unlocked. Sorry, my apologies. These new additions are unlocked now that the 1,000 is been reached, but they need to reach 2,000 in order to include it with the with the thing. But these have been unlocked. So basically, the ammo case is the first of these bonus unlocks. If we get to 2,000, there it is, actually showcased in the trunk itself. It looks really handsome. That's freaking amazing. Almost as if it was meant to be there in the very, very beginning. This is very exciting. So if we reach 2,000 backers, they will actually include the translucent wheels.
Yeah.
So before they were actually solid black wheels, and now they're actually going to be translucent, very similar to another vehicle that was being offered earlier last year. Now, a lot of people have asked, because I think this is a mistake. Ace is going to look into making the engine transparent as well. At this stage, this was actually a mistake, a rendering mistake. This actually is not a translucent engine. So guys, please, until Ace clarifies whether or not this is going to become translucent, please be aware this is not this is not one of the packages being offered just yet. I'm pretty sure Ace will update us on that soon. So very exciting developments happening at Ramen during their 1K sold. Thank you. And so Ken, this is exciting. Now, just before you take off, Ken, I did want to mention one last little thing that they and here's let's just quickly go through all of the tiers really fast. So in celebration of reaching 1,000 customers ordered, new features added or unlocked. Number 1 is improved seats with surface texture depicting the leather and higher profiles, the headrest, and increased thickness of the backrest. Beautiful stuff. 2 is individual wheel suspension. Wow, that's crazy. 3, the wheel can now be removed via screws for future upgrades. For example, the translucent tires. Fully interchangeable wheel rims previously only was available with the change out of the rims itself. 4, the trunk hood now made interchangeable for future upgrades. 5, headlights now removable covers for open or closed option via fully removable front grille access. 6, further lowered flooring to allow for slightly taller figures. That's huge. That's massive, because you know what? Not every 6-inch figure is 6 inches. Some figures like Killer Croc and other figures like that are just absolutely huge. 7, embedded wind down door window within the car. Holy crap! How's that possible? The windows will actually be able to go up and down. That's crazy. And 8, CB antenna included exclusively with Tiger Orange. This is excellent. And again, before I let you go, Ken, one last thing I wanted to mention, because this was very, very interesting, and I think I just wanted to really bring this up because I thought it was hilarious. No, it's not here. Where did it go? I think it's actually at the top. All right. So earlier today, as I said, God, it was actually during the live stream. So let me go to live stream. Here. Okay. So earlier today, come on. Okay. Earlier today, Ramen held a live stream, and it was announced there that a very special edition will happen at 3,000 backers, possibly 3,000 or 5,000 backers. And again, those are the dream numbers, right? Those are the dream numbers. But if Ace did mention that if we do get close to like 3,000 backers, they will unveil plans for, and this is verbatim. Okay, I can only talk about it verbatim. Ace had talked about. I can't see the actual comment here, but Ace had actually talked about the fact that they plan on creating a what's it called? A Agent Scully action figure somewhere down the line. Now, Ken, what are your thoughts of Agent Scully, if you even know what the heck I'm talking about?
Gillian Anderson, X-Files 1995. We still talking about the same Agent Scully, because this is going back a little ways.
Well, it is a form of an Agent Scully. I'll elaborate a little bit. So apparently, Agent Scully likes to dress up in bikers, in driver's attire, and often, has a hot head. So basically, this is going to accompany the Ramen Racer, from what I understand. And if Ace can elaborate, if Ace wants to say anything additional to that, he can. But basically, in effect, if I just have to go ahead and really spell things out, we are looking at a brand new figure to accompany the Ramen Racer, Agent Scully, who has a skull type mask and a flaming head. So I think that's
what we mean by Scully, like literally.
Scully, yes, the
Scully, not Mulder and Scully. Scully.
Not no plans yet. Although I think that Ace has mentioned that once or twice somewhere. But right. Yes, and then that was a 3,000 backers, and that will be available to order at ramentogo.com for everybody. And then, and I really can't speak too much about this, but Ramen did say that at 5,000 backers, let's just I'm just laughing at this right now. 5,000 backers, the Ramen is looking into making the sexiest demon thing I'm running out of acronyms here. I think I'm running out of descriptions here. The sexiest demon princess. The sexiest demon princess that's gonna come to accompany Agent Scully at 5,000 at 5,000 backers. So read into that. Read into that how you will.
I think he's just looking forward to making us guess what the next update is. So,
wow. Read into that how you will. Apparently, it will have the proper costume. It'll have the proper costume as Brick something. Brick something has actually, mentioned it's gonna have the right costume. I think that's probably what we can infer from that. So yeah, Brick something. This character will have the proper costume. Let's
all right. I do got a jet though, but
absolutely
Ramen. Nice photos as well on the mask Machina Thunderhawk. So
yes, absolutely. Thank you, Ken, for hopping on. I know you have a big day tomorrow, guys. Definitely, if you're in Victoria, definitely check out the. Sorry, let's just really do this quickly. The where was it?
Ultimate Hobby and Toy Fair.
Yeah, there it is. The ultimate Toy Fair. It's just called the Ultimate Toy Fair now.
Oh, they changed it. Okay, it used to be Ultimate Hobby and Toy Fair. So okay, all right.
Yeah, definitely go and visit Ken over at his booth at the Ultimate Hobby and Toy Fair. You can tell because all this great stuff is hanging out there. Do you have a booth number by any chance? Ken?
Well, when you come in, I'm probably 50 feet from the entrance. When you go straight, if you go straight to the front entrance, just walk in a straight line, you'll find me. I'm literally 50 feet from the front entrance.
Excellent.
So, maybe I'll do a toy hunt video. How about that?
That sounds so great. Well, you know what? That last toy hunt video you did was amazing. Ken, my friend, before you go, please tell everybody how they can reach you.
Well, spoiler alert, if I do get time to do a toy hunt video, this is one of the things I found. So there's that. Yeah, you can just find me on Toy Kennections, just doing some history stuff. I did a recent history of the A-Team, a little bit outside of my usual wheelhouse, but, sourced some information from some friends and put a lot of information in, or did a lot of research before I did that video. But yeah, you can find me on Toy Kennections. Love talking toys, do some wrestling stuff, some Transformers, G.I. Joe, sometimes Masters of the Universe. I do a weekly podcast every week that Hans Chow, our good friend, is named the Toy Kennections Online, or TKO stream. Normally that's live. I'm airing it tomorrow. It's pre-recorded this time because I'm here at the Toy Fair. Or you can find me on some Friday nights, either every second or third Friday night here on Mega J Retro, whenever he decides he wants some company on a stream and I happen to not feel like waking up early the next day, except I am still waking up early tomorrow, which means it doesn't really matter. It's just kind of an unconditional friendship now. At this point in time, you can find me on Toy Kennections. Yes. So, all right.
Ken is also always welcome here. Thank you, Ken, for being here tonight. Guys, definitely check out Toy Kennections. Give them a like and follow. Tell them that Jay sent you. And visit Toy Kennections at the Ultimate Toy Fair tomorrow in Victoria. Take it easy, Ken. Thanks for being here tonight.
Take care, and thanks so much for the invite. Have a good one.
Have a good night.
Good night. Good night.
Guys, it's always great to have Ken during these live streams. He jokes a lot about this stuff, and I really bug him at literally the nth hour. It is just one of those things where I want to talk about something, and Ken is always obliging. He never says no, which is is always a funny thing. But I really do appreciate his input on all these wonderful topics. And you know what? It doesn't actually stop there. We have a lot of other things to talk about tonight. But I did want to actually go and really quickly say hi to a lot of the people who are still in the chat. 68 people in the chat tonight. You guys are amazing. Thank you guys for being here tonight. Want to say hi to Mr. Home Arcade. Good to see you, my friend. Dave Sinelli. Good to see you. This place is kept powerful by the gods. Yes. I don't know exactly which gods you're talking about, but it is powerful. Thank you so much, Dave. More powerful than you're here. Redos Prime 1982 is in the house. Frankie Rivera is in the house. RC is in the house. My buddy's Customs. What's going on, bud? How you doing? Recut Hut is in the house. Ramen Toy, of course, is in the house. Good to see you. Ace. Natural Night Marvel, of course, is in the house. Maximilian Studios. Pickle D. Star Killer Base is in the house. Nolan is in the house. Good to see you, my friend. Frankie Rivera, Ryra Ken 33. What's going on, pare? Kumusta ka? Ken, kumusta ka? Mabuti, pare. Good to see you, my friend. Let's see here. A lot of people in the house. Jed Renner is in the house. DDP and Scott Steiner should be the two that come with it. It would have been nice, but unfortunately they sowed that basket very, very early. Old IT guy's in the house. Hey Jay, chat. Hope everyone's doing well. We are doing much better now that you're here, old IT guy. Rodimus Prime 1982 is in the house. Wheels of Chaotic Doom. What's going on, my friend? Tim Hayes is in the house. John Brooks, all the way from the Philippines, and of course he's Irish. So you know what? Good to see you. Good to see you, John. Let's see here. Anybody else that we haven't said hi to? Master Versal Toy Hunter is in the house. What's going on, my friend? Lord Hoagie. Dave Sinelli, we have said hi to him already. Clint Jorgensen is in the house. Star Killer Base. Anybody else? Yojo OC is in the house. Brick Something is in the house. Good to see you guys. Anybody else? Oh, Palpatine, 1975. Greetings, Lord Palpatine. How are you, my lord? Extremely powerful, my extremely powerful apprentices. Yes, my lord. Eric Leckman is in the house. Good to see you, brother. Jeff Morris is in the house. Paul Edwards. I've always said the crowd. We did this actually earlier. Venomous Art. Sorry, Venomous Art. There you go. Classified as losing steam. It's tough. It really is tough. But you know what? Things are all over the place right now. Maximilian Studios in the house. Funky Play Brothers. Anybody else missed? Andrew Davis is in the house. Anybody else? I think we're almost there. Figuratively Speaking is in the house. Good to see you, my friend. NYC Figure Fanatics. Anyone else? Oh, Brick Something. Good to see you, brother. I think we're almost there. Keith Tran is in the house. Richard Garcia is in the house. Good to see you, brother. Anybody else? There's Mr. Home Arcade again. Good to see you, dude. And Primate 76. What's going on, my friend? Good to see you. Bethany Beth is in the house. Eric Valdez. Ricochet Rick. Cobra. Plastic Boy Wonder. Omar V. Andrew Davis in the house. Paul Edwards. Robert Fortin. What's going on, my friend? Hey, Mega J. Love the show. Thank you so much, Robert. Really appreciate that. 8-Bit is in the house. Jeff W. is in the house. Good to see you, everybody. Whoo! What a night it's been, and what a week it's been for toys. And it just does not seem to stop. Damon Slayer, Jay, I just got the Spin Masters Batwing. Congratulations, dude. That's awesome. Glad to hear it. Lance Jones, what's going on, my friend? How are you doing tonight? Paul Edwards, who all is finding the Masterverse Man at Arms? I scored one last night, Saturday. You guys, Target is just killing it right now, isn't it, Paul? Congratulations, great find, my friend. Excellent find. Yeah, guys, things have been going crazy in the toy world. Of course, Ramen is killing it right now. Ramen Toy hitting the 1,000 sold mark, and I got to tell you, the new additions to their goals. If we reach 2,000, you get these crazy new additions. Excellent stuff. And of course, the news that Agent Scully and perhaps the Demon Princess might actually be, a reality very, very soon. Those are really killing it as well. One of the things that I really wanted to talk about tonight was something that's near and dear to my heart. And a lot of guys here know I'm a huge, huge, huge Conan the Barbarian fan. Like absolute massive Conan fan. Conan is life, my friends. Conan is freaking amazing. This actually really was a wonderful facial sculpt for Arnold Schwarzenegger. I have to say, it really is a really good likeness of him. And I'm super excited and hopeful, very, very hopeful, that the announcement from Super 7 is going to be a really good one for me. Because I was talking about this not too long ago for some of the people who remember. I was saying that I was saying that I'm very excited about Red Sonja, the action figure coming out from another studio. I can't remember who they are off the top of my head right now, but I was very excited about that particular figure because they haven't released any of the additional figures, any of the secondary stars of the movie. Subutai has not been announced at all, and I was actually kind of not upset, but I was like, when are we going to hear anything, or when are we going to see anything about the Valkyrie of the of the team? When are we going to find out more news about um, uh, Valeria? And to my shock, to my actual shock, and my actual just basically, I was over the moon with this announcement. I was absolutely over the moon with this announcement. Heading over to Super Seven's Instagram page, scrolling down from there, they've made a couple of new announcements, including the Rescuers Down Under set that they just started soliciting. A whole bunch of different paraphernalia, like Bert and Ernie over here. But the one thing that really got my attention was this, which at first I didn't understand what the heck this was. At first I had no idea what the heck is that. That doesn't like bleh, it's so weird. But then I took a very close look at this figure, and I was like, no freaking way. And I was literally in heaven. I knew immediately what was going on. Yes, indeed, everybody. If you have no idea what this is, because I wouldn't blame you, because I barely understood what the heck this was myself. But yeah, if you have no idea what the heck this is supposed to be, this is Valeria in her ascended form. This is actually Valeria, who is beside Crom, who has and she had returned to Conan's side to fight alongside him in his hour of need. And this was the visage of her as she stood over Conan, having bested Rexor before he could do any damage to her beloved. And honestly, I was over the moon with this. It's very, very hard to see what's happening here. It's actually a really difficult picture to see, but we have Photoshop for that. And I did a little bit of a manipulation with this. If I can find the damn thing, hold on for a second here. And I was able to get a something a little bit more, not a little bit clear. So the thumbnail that I made, I did a little bit of photoshopping, and we can actually see here, her head's tilted slightly. So, but we can see her eyes. We can see her Valeria's eyes, and they look amazing. Like she's got Hermes' helm. It's actually got two wings at the top of her helmet that we can see here. The top part of it is adorned with fur, and if we move down, we can see her golden locks coming down from her shoulders, and we see her golden armor, her silver armor, which of course is what Conan adorned her with on her funeral pyre. And there we also see all of her wonderful the chainmail that's attached to it. We even see her blade, her sword, which is just absolutely gorgeous. This to me is going to be great. I had the pleasure of meeting Sandal Bergman once upon a time. What an incredible actress! What an incredible person! But I just wanted to sort of reference what this picture actually looks like. So Valeria, Conan the Barbarian. So this photo, let's see if we can. There it is. So this is actually the what she's going to look like, as you can see here. As I said, she has those wings on top of her Hermes helm, right? Those are the Valkyrie wings. Again, like I said, it's got that furry piece at the top. Her golden hair flowing down, and again, the whole thing is just like super shiny, and it's just glittering in the sunlight. But yeah, this is one heck of a crazy outfit. Yeah, this is just absolutely gorgeous, and I can't wait until we get this to our collection. Sandal Bergman here was just stunning in the movie. And again, she moved. She's a dancer by trade, so she moved elegantly and gracefully, and just like dispatched her enemies, with fell swoops, and really just embodied the whole idea of Valkyries. It was just beautiful to behold. And yeah, this was an outfit at the end of the movie, which is interesting. I was hoping that they would actually have started off with something more in line with her the character from the show, because again, not that what we're getting is, or at least what they've teased. Sorry, not that what they've teased isn't exciting enough, but I mean, these are more of her signature looks right here, Sendel Bergman, from the movie. Her thief outfit here, and yeah, these types of images are the ones that she's really well known for, especially this one here, which is again another one of her thief outfits. Oh gosh, it's hard to get these things exactly right, but yeah, again, she played so many different uh, in so many different costumes that she had throughout the show, throughout the movie. But yes, that's her signature blade right there, and I'm obviously she's going to be coming that. But I do love these other looks again, like the thief outfit that she wore, which would accompany Schwarzenegger's thief outfit here, right? Because this outfit is actually the attire that he wore when they were trying to steal the princess away from Thulsa Doom. So those two run succinct in terms of their style, and this is the type of thing that I'm talking about. That we could definitely see these two as a pair, right? That would be just excellent, just absolutely excellent. And you know, moving on to the other looks. I mean, this here again is just that's a stunning outfit right there. Like it's, I mean, she's not wearing much. You know what I mean? And that's the kind of look that they had for her at one stage, and she never. I believe that's actually the funeral pyre. This is her funeral pyre outfit. That's actually how she was sent to Crom, right? Conan actually put her ablaze in this outfit. So that's why this outfit exists. But you know, um, what's it called? The thief outfit is one of the most iconic. Which of course I lost it again. Where did it go? Yeah, her thief outfit is really the one that she's well known for, as well as I think there it is. Yeah, this is the outfit that she started the movie in. Um, Again, wonderful designs all over. Um, she really was just an incredible figure overall, and I'm so excited, absolutely thrilled that we're going to be getting a version of Valeria into our collections finally, even if it starts off with her last image, um, which again I'm very excited about this. It looks great, like from all accounts, where it looks like we're going to be getting something absolutely stunning. Where the heck did I put it? There it is. Yeah, it's looking really great. I think that we're in for a treat, bar none, with this particular version, and I'm really excited about this. But I hope we do eventually get one of the other looks, like this, like her funeral look, her thief look, and of course uh, her regular attire that she wore when she first met Conan. These that's my biggest hope right now, that we can get some of these classic looks for Valeria. But again, I'm encouraged either way about all these designs, and yeah, I mean, shit. Like seriously, like I'm just super excited about all this, and this really does leave the door open for Subotai, because again, Subotai to me needs to be. They are the trio, right? They are the grand trio of Conan, right? We have Subotai, we have Conan, and we have Valeria. And I've been waiting so long to get characters of these, with their character likenesses, forever, right? And the fact that we're even getting anywhere near that is just blowing my mind. Just absolutely crazy. I'm waiting on this one too. I'm waiting on this version of Conan with his Viking horns, which actually is a myth, by the way, just so anybody knows it. And this particular version of his armor, those things just look crazy. I of course want that version of Subotai, but I do want his archery version as well, because this is his Mongol, that's his Mongol look, but his his archery look is just so much more distinctive, and of course any version we get of Valeria is just through the moon for me. I'm just absolutely thrilled for all of these things. Jeff W, thank you so much for the $5 super chat, my friend. You're amazing. Jay, they always start with the less popular look, then later they give you the other looks in order to the most iconic. That way you tend to buy them all. I was going to buy them all regardless. I was going to buy them all regardless, Jeff. I mean, like, come on. There are only so many of us out there who are really into this movie. You know what I mean? Like you have to be born at a certain age and a certain like demographic to actually want to buy this. Starkiller Base, bye everybody in the chat. Have a good night, Starkiller Base. Good to see you, my friend. Brick something. Definitely Subotai. I also love to get a Mako. Yes, we have to get Akiro. We have to get Akiro, the wizard Akiro. Beautiful, of course, another wonderful tribute to Mako. It's Akiro. That's the wizard's name, Akiro. And we only found out his name in the Destroyer. And the Destroyer was when they gave him a name. In the Barbarian, they actually did not give him a name. At least I have to check the credits, but I'm pretty sure they didn't give him a name in Barbarian. Eric Electman says, "I need Subotai." Yes, we absolutely 100% need Subotai. Break something. Yes, that's an odd choice to start with. She only wore that in the last few minutes. Oh well, it's definitely good for a start. I want that thief paint. Yes, 100%. We need them all. We need them all, my friend. Maybe her armor is removable. I doubt it. I doubt that very much. Eric Lemon, right. Her regular gear or thief paint gear, absolutely. Naturally, I'm gonna get 3. Absolutely. Eric, this is such an amazing reveal, Jay. I couldn't believe my eyes. Neither could I. I was absolutely through the moon. Recut Hut, exclusive replicas. They're still waiting for Sonya. Just saying. Yeah, I know. I saw it at the convention. Can you believe that? It was actually being sold at a Fan Expo. Toronto Comic Con, and we still haven't gotten any notices for shipments. Naturally, Marvel, what's up with the Wizards? Which Wizards are you talking about? I don't know which Wizards you're talking about. Jeff W. I'm thrilled for Valeria. Love Conan in the 80s. Arnold goodness. Have all the Super 7 Conan line thus far and waiting for the King. Crom. Yes, 100%. I skipped out on, and I'm kind of regretting it now, but I did skip out on what's his name? I did skip out on Gladiator Conan. And now that I think about it, let me just double check. Curious. Wondering if they even have it, but apparently not. And I'm not really sure if I want the throne. That's the one thing I'm really kind of still on the fence about. I'm not really sure if I want that stupid throne. Starkiller Base. Ramatoy, thanks Ace for being here and let it go for 2,000. Yes, we're gonna get to 2,000 with Ramen's help. For sure. Rick, something. The shot is a key from the shot from the film. She inspires him to fight on. Yes, this is true. I'm not saying I don't want it. I want it. I definitely want it, but I just find it an interesting choice. I really do. Night 1. Conan's special lady friend, finally. Yes, 100%. Ramatoy, thanks, Jay, for the shout out, and thank you for the chat. Need to head back to work. Lastly, are we going to see some Flipboard? Yes, I believe we are. One day. One day we shall see some Flipboard. You never know. You never know. Flipboard will show up at any moment. Starkiller Base. Randall, maybe one left. I missed out because PayPal on Mattel. That really is terrible. Funky Play Brothers. We were surprised. Quick ship time on He Skeletor. Our ship the next day. That's excellent. Congratulations, Funky Play Brothers. That's awesome. Yes, it was loose. That's correct. It was loose collector for Red Sonja. Brick something. I want all 3 of them in their new war paint, dude. That would be sick. I know. We need them all on every single iteration of them. Renegazig. McFarlane just released a pic of Superpowers Invisible Jet. He Skeletor Order Wave 3 was shipped yesterday and got both Man at Arms and Mattel Creations Evelyn. Oh, that's excellent, my friend. That's crazy. Brick something. Cannot wait for Valeria. 8-bit. Target has actually been stocking things. Yes, they have. Clint Jorgensen, should we all say here when he says our names, like roll call at school? I wouldn't be able to hear you, but I would definitely feel you in spirit, my friend. Buzz1, hey Jay, is that Skeletor by Super 7? If you're talking about him, yes, that is Skeletor, movie Skeletor, Dark Despot Skeletor from Super 7. Yes, that is Super 7 Skeletor. Brick something. Yes, Akiro. That's thanks, James. Uncle Iroh. Yes, it was Uncle Iroh for sure. Natural Name Marvel. As much as I dislike Super 7, I still bought all the Conan figures ×2. Dude, they're pretty good, especially with the facial sculpts the way they were. Because I can't say about R, but these ones were awesome. Brick something. Removal armor for Valeria, not really Super 7 move. If Zere's studio did it, it would be. They make it so that combatants fight for glory, women can disrobe. This is true. Bethany Bet, here's for Jay's lesson. Here's for Jay's lessons. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Bethany Bet. Eric Elecman, right? Lost for one. Jay, any news on the Mezco Godzilla mega figure? No, brother. I haven't heard a hide nor hair of anything on that. Oh my god. Jeff W. My goodness, my friend. Thank you so much for the $20 super chat. Dude, you're amazing. Jay, I'll be 50 in June and grew up with a great pulp culture of 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. I'm a lover of high fantasy a la Conan, Masters of the Universe, Highlander. That can be only one, my friend. There can be only one. Excalibur. Cheesy 80s films, love it, etc. I love my classics and ultimates. Such a great aesthetic. Jeff, you and I can be friends, my friend. You and I can be true friends. Great to see you, Jeff. Thank you so much for the $20 super chat. You're awesome. And of course, every single one of the films you mentioned, Excalibur, I'm in on it, but no. But just like I love Krull, right? I love Krull too, but it's just one of those guilty pleasures. I love them. So yes, Jeff, we can definitely be friends. Great to see you, my friend. Thank you again for the $20 super chat. You are amazing. Tim Hayes, got the Dune figures from the Universal Classics Monsters Super 7 put out. Yeah, they're again, the reaction figures are okay. And I understand they're sort of to be based off of the original Dune collection that was supposed to be released years ago. But I'm actually a little bit more, I'm actually much more excited about the McFarlane figures. I did actually complete the Build-A-Figure. And they're not. It's not like they were everywhere, right? But I love Dune, I really do. Andrew Davis, glad that the sequel is coming out. We're finally getting a short round. Yes, we are. We're finally getting a short round from Indiana Jones. The 80s is killing it right now. Unfortunately, they're also killing my pockets, dude. You are not alone in that. We are all of us are in the same boat, and it's liable to sink us, really. Eric Leckman, good night, folks. Thanks for the great discussion. You too, Eric. Thank you for being here tonight. It's been great. Damien Slayer, she reminds me of She-Ra. Dude, that is not a coincidence. That is not a coincidence. Natural Name Marvel, can we twin Barbarian? Can we have some twin Barbarian action figures? Twin Barbarian? I don't know what. Okay, you know what? I think I know what you're talking about. It was a very obscure movie. I mean, that reference is. I mean, I just barely remember what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. I just barely remember it though. But I mean, I'm pretty sure somebody would pick up that license if they can. It wouldn't be bad. You know what I mean? Those guys are, man. It was the age of like bodybuilding, buffness. It was crazy, which was amazing. But yeah, that was where we were as a collecting what's it called? Collective, as an actual collective. You know what? We do have a little bit of time, so why don't we go ahead and talk a little bit about that. The felon attorney, Oregon IRL. I'm waiting on the far more iconic Jason Momoa Conan line. What? Yeah, you know what, dude? I am whatever, bro. You know what? I'm not going to argue with you. I am not going to argue with you. But let me just say, allow me to say this: if Jason Momoa and Schwarzenegger were to meet on the street, Arnold Schwarzenegger would snap him in half. Okay, like I'm talking about prime Schwarzenegger versus prime Momoa. Momoa would not survive. I'm telling you right now, seriously. That of course is my opinion. No one has to listen to me, but I just believe that the best Conan movies are the originals. I know people are like, Jay, you should watch the Jason Momoa Conan. I'm like, screw that. I you know what? High fantasy, yes, I do recognize that there's a lot of high fantasy in that Conan movie, but honestly, and just give me Arnold Conan any day. Mr. Homicade, I remember what movie you're talking about. Yes, I think we all do, man. It was called The Barbarians. Yes, I know. The Brick something. The Barbarian Twins was a video rental staple. It really was. Tim Hayes, sad one of them died. Well, we're not getting any younger, guys. We really aren't. Natural Name Marvel, when bodybuilding was steroid free. What are you talking about? Natural Name Marvel. What are you talking about? That was the height of steroids, dude. That was the absolute peak. That was the peak. Arnold Schwarzenegger's admitted to taking steroids. Arnold Schwarzenegger has admitted to taking steroids. Everybody was juicing back then, dude. You couldn't get freaking pumped like that if you didn't take them. You couldn't do it. Enhancements, man. It was enhancements. Oh my gosh. Night one. I saw Conan remake once, and I don't really remember any of it. Again, for me, it's always going to be the original. Always. The felon attorney, Oregon IRL. Just kidding on just Momoa. And I used to work for the governor back in Sacramento. And you're right. Dude. Any day, anytime, those two would go to boom. Would not make it. Mr. Homework Aid. Lance Jones. Yes, we are all talking about that. Bloodsport 1. Steroids was legal back then. Not exactly. It really wasn't. It was not legal. It was not legal. Like, I mean, steroids in themselves are not legal. Steroids are a medical supplement that you need. Some people need to actually recover. It's an actual drug. It's something that some people need steroids to rehabilitate. But the bodybuilding and sports community realized very quickly how it could help them, get an edge, in their workplace, and because of that, the abuses started happening in sports and in bodybuilding and things like that. And that's where illegal is not the word. It's not illegal. It's a banned substance for athletic enhancement. That's where that comes from. It's a banned substance for athletic enhancement. So that's where that comes from. The felon attorney, Oregon IL. Arnold admitted it openly several times, 100%. And that's exactly what I was saying. He wasn't in competition anymore. He didn't care. Natural Name Marvel, prayers and vitamins. Good on you, Hogan. Felon attorney. One thing for sure, steroids work. They do. No one's definitely arguing that they don't. They definitely work. Bloodsport 1 in the 70s and 80s, it wasn't legal. It's never been illegal, guys. It's never been illegal. But performance enhancing drugs for sports, again, it was hard to detect. But in the Olympics, I believe it was actually still frowned upon. Like no matter what, it was always frowned upon. And I still do believe that in the 70s and 80s, it was not. Again, nothing's illegal. I mean, you can't really get it on the open market, but you'd have to buy it on the black market. It's not about it's not about like if steroids were illegal, we'd all be in trouble. I think not all of us, but people who need steroids for treatments would be in a big, some big. But it's always been offered in the black market because it's not something that you can just get off the counter. It's just not something that happens. It's still narcotic. It's not really a narcotic, but it is something that is performance enhancing. Knights of Old. Hey Jay, I'm installing new shelving. Always exciting, dude. That is so excellent. Catalog your journey. Rondo Gazig, I would love Super 7 to do a Conan Adventure line based on the cartoon. Would you get it? Red Sonja is needed. I really did enjoy Conan the Adventure. It was a really good cartoon. The Warriors of Set, right? Very much Serpentor-ish. You know what I mean? I always felt that he was sort of a Serpentor type of character. So yeah, I really love it. The fact that the Conan's sword was magical and that it would unveil all the snake people that were in the area. That was always a fun touch, right? His parents are banished to another dimension. That kind of stuff. It was really a fun show overall. Who has left not? What's going on, brother? And here I thought that they got that way by saying their prayers and taking their vitamins. Absolutely, my friend. Bloodsport 1, I need my Hulk Hogan vitamins. I need my Flintstone vitamins. Night 1, absolutely. Jay, show us your biceps. You mean lack thereof, brother? it's the what's it called? It's the Bugs Bunny bicep. You know how it flops. You know what I mean? Like that's how that works. There ain't nothing there, bro. There ain't nothing there. There's literally nothing on that. Nothing. No meat on the bone, man. It's like it's not there. It's non-existent. Does not exist. Healy Dread. Not a toy, but still collectible tomorrow. I get the movie soundtrack, The Killer Clowns from Outer Space on one. Nice. That is a great show, great movie. That's what Marvel. Conan the Adventurer was a great cartoon. It really was. I really did enjoy it. It is a joke, brother. It is a joke. That's Volt. Do you finalize your display shelves, brother? I am so far behind. My roommate's going to kick me out one day. It's just a bad idea. The Felon Oregon, the Felon Attorney. How about some Kevin Sorbo accurate Hercules? The legend continues. I liked Autolycus. You know what I mean? Freak man. What's it called? This Spider-Man director. Raimi there. You know who I'm talking about. He was in the show a couple of times. Fun stuff. Always fun stuff. Does Kevin Sorbo give out his likeness a lot? I don't actually remember any Kevin Sorbo likenesses. They had a line of Kevin Sorbo Hercules Legend Continue toys. I think I recall that way back in the day. I don't know. Would it still be popular today? I mean, there was lots of different opportunities. I mean, he had so many enemies. His dad, Zeus. His Ares. All those other guys. Lots of fun stuff. I would definitely look into it. 100%. Bloodsport 1. Jay, do you remember the Beastmaster? Of course I do. And Sword and the Sorcerer? Of course I do. We were talking about that last week. I've been talking dude. We talk about that stuff all the freaking time. Like literally. Sword and the Sorcerer, man. 3 blades. Sorry. 3 blades. 3 freaking blades. It was like I'm pretty sure Miyamoto got that idea of shooting Link's sword from that, or it was the other way around. It was one of those two where the Sword and the Sorcerer or Miyamoto we're like exchanging ideas, like shooting blades. 3 of them. You get 3 shots. Bang, bang, bang. Freaking crazy. That was the dumbest sword in history, man. That was ridiculous. And we loved it. Night 1. Conan was great in the recent Savage Avengers comics. He became fast friends with Wolverine and Punisher. I do remember those crossovers. They were a lot of fun. He was even in What If for a couple of issues. He didn't he claim Manolier actually at one time? I think he did. Curls for the girls. Yeah, absolutely. Chest for the rest. Frankie Rivera. It's Bugs Bunny biceps. Yep, exactly. They don't exist, man. They're all floppy. See, look right there. It's moving. It's moving. What's it? Sam Raimi. Yes, Sam Raimi. Exactly. Thank you, Unicorns Left Nut. Exactly, guys. Yeah. We're Felon. Xena, obviously too. See, Xena's already out. I mean, like, I think she's got representation, right? Super 7 locked that one down early. Break something. The Barbarian-esque figs I'm looking for is 6-inch Black Star Thundar and Crystar. Yes. And of course the Beastmaster. Of course. And then of course the V. Black Star. Wow. There's another Filmation property. I would, you know what? If he doesn't come with a sparking feature, okay. If he doesn't have the sparking necklace, I'm out. He needs the sparking necklace, my friend. Healing Dread. Can't wait for Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Yeah, it looks great, doesn't it? It really does look great. Ted Raimi is his brother, and I think he's the one. He makes a lot of cameos too. Ted Raimi is. It was Sam Raimi. Tears. Yes, Tears. Nolan, wouldn't mind getting the Rutger Hauer version from Lady Hawk. Yes, that would be cool. And then you might as well throw in what was his name again? Freaking Ferris Bueller there. What was his name again? Somebody help me out here. But he was the squire, wasn't he? He was the squire of Rutger Hauer in Lady Hawk. And then Michelle Pfeiffer, of course, right? We have to throw all those people into the mix. Who am I thinking about? Who was Ferris Bueller? Matthew Broderick. Matthew Broderick. That's right, Matthew Broderick. Yeah, he was the squire of Rutger Hauer. He was the one who instigated their thing. He got them to see each other during that one moment of sunshine. Crazy stuff. Jeff W. I think we will get the Arnold King Conan movie before he's gone. It's been almost 30 years since The Destroyer. I hope so. He's been working on it. He's been working on it for years. And it's weird because they just, with all his influence, they still haven't been able to put it together. And, he's dressed up as the king, as Conan the King a couple of times. But King Conan. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not really sure. I'd even go as far to say that if they want to use freaking Momoa and have him as the new Conan, I think I'd stomach that just to watch Conan the King. You know what I mean? I think I would. I don't know. That's just me. Matthew Broderick. Yes, Matthew Broderick. Exactly. Everybody's got it. Mark Singer. Yes, Mark Singer. Beastman. Devin. Right from the V. Right. Great stuff. Honestly, he's a great character, great actor, wonderful actor. He actually reprised his role as the Beastmaster years later, but he looked a little emancipated, emaciated. He looked a little emaciated. Just freaking crazy. Damon Sailor. Ben and Henry BVS, they were fit and Gal Gadot to yo. Ben and Henry BVS. I'm sorry, brother. That's going way over my head. Ben and Henry BVS, they were fit and Gal Gadot too. I mean, sure. I'm not 100% sure what you're talking about, brother. Can you elaborate? Because that was going right over my head. That's like, whew, I really am kind of like all over there. The film attorney. I was thinking of Call the Conqueror. Yes, Call the Conqueror. A lot of Robert E. Howard material has been unused or not used correctly. Yeah, Call the Conqueror. I mean, yeah, Robert E. Howard has a lot of great Pulp Fiction novels. So there's a lot of his characters. Red Sonja was one of his. Apparently, it was a poem that he wrote. Right, and they elaborated on it. So many great characters that have come and gone, and of course, a lot of people just have no idea. Ben Grimm, Henry Cavill, Cavill. I think you're trying to say Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill and Ben Affleck in Batman v Superman were fit, and Gal Gadot was too. Yes, this is true. They did work out for the roles. I totally don't disagree with that. And they were all on steroids. Natural Night Marvel, Batman, yes, Batman. And make no mistake, Chris Hemsworth is on major steroids whenever he gets. Nobody can bulk up that quickly without some help. It's nearly impossible. But we all have to do things for work, and they're movie stars. They don't have to actually compete in like bodybuilding competitions, and they don't have to be sports. They're not professional sports people, so it's all good. It's all good, guys. I want to thank each and every one of you for being here tonight. It's been a great evening. Chatting up with toys. We have more updates for tomorrow. On Sunday for my stream. There's a lot of other things that are to talk about. We definitely should talk about Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Maybe even the new Indiana Jones movie that's just come out. I want to talk a little bit about The Mandalorian and the direction it's heading in. A whole bunch of the new toys that are coming out for Star Wars and for G.I. Joe and for so many crazy things that are pre-orders out the door. Things are just going crazier every single day, and it's great because toys never ever stops. I just wish the prices would normalize again because they're just getting definitely crazy. And the where does the buck stop? It's gonna have to go backwards eventually because there's no way we can keep affording these toys if they keep going up and up and up and up and up. It just doesn't seem like there's any sign of stopping at this stage. But once people are not able to afford these things, then things will start to normalize as they always do, which is absolutely crazy. But when that point is, I have no idea. David Saylor, didn't they take? They didn't take anything, did they? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they took it. I'm not even sure what we're talking about now. You're talking about no, guys. Let's just be perfectly honest here, okay? And you know what? Believe it or not, I'm pretty sure there are freaks of nature out there who bulk up fast. I'm pretty sure there are. I'm pretty sure there are people who have fast twitch, slow twitch, whatever the heck it is. But if you think about this, okay? If you look at Chris Hemsworth when he's off season, when he's not playing a Thor role, he shrinks down to a normal size human being. Okay, he's very lanky, he's very thin, he's very tall. Whenever he does a Thor movie, within weeks, possibly a month, he is freaking massive. He is absolutely freaking massive. I don't care how much beef you eat. I don't care. You cannot bulk up that fast in such a short amount of time. Henry Cavill is already pretty athletic to begin with, but he gets huge when he becomes Superman. Absolutely huge. Ben Affleck is older, and his muscle mass is what it is. He gets like tough muscle. That's the way I like to call it. Some people would call it dad muscle. But here's a good indication of just exactly how different it gets. If you watch the Snyder Cut, here's something interesting. If you watch the Snyder Cut and you watch the whole movie all the way through, right at the last scenes of the movie, they go back to Bruce Wayne's lake house. And if you see how small Ben Affleck is in those reshoots, he's freaking tiny. He is actually thin as F. He's so small compared to the way he was in the beginning of the movie. You got to look at these things, right? You really got to look. He couldn't be bothered bulking up again for a few reshoots, so he stayed thin. And they tried to shoot it at certain angles where you couldn't tell, but you could tell the guy was thin as hell. He was so small. As actors, I don't even care. They do what they need to do to bulk up. You know what I mean? They do what they need to do to get bigger for a role, and I respect that. Because the work you have to put in to actually become that big is not easy. You know how much exercise you have to do? Do you know how many calories you have to, how much protein you have to eat? Do you know the kind of regimen you have to keep? It is grueling. Chris Evans actually went on record to say that he can no longer play Captain America because of the toll it's taking on his body. You don't say that if you can become a proper size the natural way. He bulks up fast. Chris Evans' normal size is the way he looked in the Fantastic Four as Johnny Storm. That is Chris Evans' natural size. He's sort of lanky. He's muscular, but he's got a thinner frame. But when they're asked to bulk up, trust me, steroids gets in there. Maybe not a lot. Maybe it's not even steroids. Maybe it's another sort of performance enhancer. But they need to build. They need to bulk up as fast as possible. So that's something that really helps in all of that. Yeah. Look, you don't have to believe me. I'm no expert. I don't know 100%. But you know what? These things don't happen. These things can't be. You can't get that big that fast. It's nearly impossible. Break something. Speaking of Barbarians, Conan, Jay, did you get any Savage Crucible? The Frazetta Barbarian looks great. You know what? I'm into so many lines right now. I can really only commit to several ones, and this is where I'm at right now. I'm with these guys here. This is my jam for Barbarians right now for Conan. Okay, I went in on the. I'm really tempted to keep going with the Gladiators. You know what I mean? Like they're really tempting me, but I really gotta cut back. I really do. Knights of Old Jay, has your local new and vintage collecting community come back to pre-pandemic levels of events to get to theirs and local stores? I'd be lying if I said yes. I would be absolutely lying. I mean, as you guys have seen if you guys watched on MJR Collector, I went to the Awesome Toy Show, and the vendors were there. The fans were there too, but not in the same capacity as they were pre-pandemic. So I would be lying if I said yes. Ben Grimm, wondering if Jackman will do that again for Wolverine and Deadpool. The answer is yes. He has to. He has to. But again, he as another one who didn't want to do it. He was absolutely jacked in the Wolverine. You know what I mean? Where he was in Japan, he was absolutely jacked. Like he'd never been any bigger than that ever. And even in a Days of Future Past, he was dry in a lot of those scenes. He was taking diuretics, and when he gets up off, I don't know if you remember, but in Days of Future Past, when he gets up off of the waterbed, and he goes, "Whoa!" Right? When he gets up to actually look out the window, he looks exhausted. I don't know if you guys have noticed that, but watch the scene again. He literally looks exhausted. He goes to put his pants on, and he's panting. He's actually breathing heavy. And by the time he turns around to look at the guys coming into the room, he's like, "Hey, what's going on?" Right? He's really tired. And the reason he's tired is because in order to get the musculature and all those veins to pop, where on his arms, on his forearms, everything like his neckline, the way they get all those things to pop is they give him diuretics so that like the water retention of the body actually like pees everything up. And they do that in bodybuilding too, and they're running and they are operating dry. They have no water in their bodies. They are literally, people have collapsed on stage. Some people have had heart attacks, and it's crazy. When I saw him that scene, I was like, Jesus, this guy has no water in his body whatsoever. He's literally dry as F. And you could tell because if you watch the scene again, like I said, he's breathing heavy. Like you're thinking to yourself, all right, he just laid down with a woman. You know what I mean? He's probably just getting up in the morning. No, he was literally like, whoa. And then he gets up, he looks through the window, he's like, holy shit. And he's like, hey, what's going on? Right? He's literally breathing heavy. It was absolutely crazy. So Ben, I think the answer is yes. He's going to have to. The felon attorney. Now they would do a Natalie Portman and use computer enhancement. They did that already. I mean, she worked out a little bit, but she doesn't bulk up. You can tell she didn't want to bulk up. She didn't want to get bigger than what a costume could do for her, right? And yeah, she did a bit of a workout, but for the most part, you could kind of tell. But at the same time, she also had to play an emaciated, person suffering from cancer, right? And that was a huge thing. She had to look as frail as possible, so they couldn't bulk her up and then ask her to thin down fast, so they had to come up with a happy medium. And even Andrew Levy. Hold on, am I talking about the same guy? Um, Zachary Levy, sorry. Even Zachary Levy, he has bulked up for the role, but they still pad his suit, to get him even bigger. You know what I mean? That happens. Ben Grimm, what offbeat Marvel character would you want to pop up in Wolverine/Deadpool so we can get a figure? Honestly, I think all the figures I really need have already been made. But is there anybody I want to get? You know what? Just because they do all they do the time traveling thing. They do so many other. I would love to see um, uh, a more traditional. How can I say this properly? You know what? Truthfully, I think I wouldn't mind seeing Onslaught. You know what I mean? I wouldn't mind seeing a version of Onslaught. I think that would be ridiculous. You know what I mean? I think that the a realistic take on Onslaught would be nuts. You know what I mean? I think that would be crazy. But yeah, that would be an interesting one. Tim Hayes, I don't think the prices will change because of inflation. Well, what do you mean by that, my brother? I mean, like they did. that's just what happened. Like we've had 4 price hikes here in Canada. We've had almost 5 price hikes in the last 3 years, and that's because of shipping costs. That's because of there are multiple factors of that, but inflation is one of those factors. Tim, inflation. Now I don't know if it's a major. I don't know if it's the major factor in that, but it definitely is a contributor. 100%. The fellow attorney, Hasbro's trying to win the game on price inflation. Unfortunately, I totally agree. Bloodsport 1, I want 24-inch pythons like Hogan. Dude, you're gonna have to start working hard for those. You're gonna have to start working hard for those. Even with performance enhancing, you still got to put the work in. If you don't put the work in with performance enhancing, you're not going to get big. Like you're not going to get big muscles. You'll get stronger, right? You'll actually get physically stronger, but you won't actually get the size. You know what I mean? To get the size, you actually have to do the work. Damon Slayer, you are so right. Funky Play Brothers, the way our dads diets, protein, and work out is crazy. Well, you know what? He's probably he's probably I'm sorry. He's probably a very health conscious kind of person. That's amazing. The fellow attorney, reshoots on Justice League make for a lot of continuity silliness when it came to Ben Affleck. Yes, it did. They had to pad that suit a lot. I'm telling you, it was just kind of weird. Natural Light Marvel, prayers and vitamins plus the cross. Yeah, it's all there, brother. Ben Grimm, Stallone has openly said he took steroids. Of course. At his age, there's no way he can't get that big without some sort of a performance enhancement. And at this age. Private 76, no juice at all. They only load up their space suits with rocket fuel. Jeff WJ, did you watch Duke of Hazzard in Canada? Of course I did. It is such, of course. Tiger Orange Ramen Racer is a great opportunity for fans. Yes, and I believe they are making a sticker pack available through one of their partners. So it's going to be a lot of fun to see that. It really is a wonderful opportunity for the Ramen Racer. Ben Graham, Jensen Ankles talked about when preparing for The Boys. He got in real good shape, and the cast was like, they will just put you in a suit, and that'll make your body look great. I mean, there's a little bit of that, but you know what? For a specific look, the bigger you are, the more believable it is, right? So, I know what they were saying, but it's not. There is a certain amount of realism that you need to do. I mean, a lot of people talk about the muscle suit that oh gosh, what's his name? Oh god, what's his name again? Deadpool. What's his name again? Oh my gosh, he's Canadian for crying out loud. What the hell's his name? Ryan Reynolds. When Ryan Reynolds was in what's it called, a Fall Guy, or what movie is that, Ryan Reynolds, where he's an NPC? Yeah, Fall Guy, right? Oh, Free Guy, Free Guy. Yeah, when he's in Free Guy, there's a scene where he gets in a muscle suit, and a lot of people are just saying, just do that. It still looked fake. You know what I mean? It didn't really. You could sort of tell it was a rubber suit. They enhanced it with CGI and stuff like that, but you could still sort of tell. Of course, he was right there, so it wasn't that hard uh, to uh, to do it. Um, Rob Liefeld drawn cable with pouches and all. That would be fun. It definitely would be, but I mean, it is what it is. The fellow, sorry, Natalie Portman could have done both for for Love and Thunder. They did Castaway with Fat Tom Hanks and Super Thin Tom Hanks. They just had to film it at a year apart. Yeah, but there's a problem, right? Um, they would have to bring her back a couple of times, and for a movie these days, the way they're pumping them out, they just don't have the time, and it was just a lot easier to use CGI and to use bodysuits, much the way they did for Free Guy to get the look that they wanted. It was just a lot easier. Tim Haynes, I don't think the prices will go down now because inflation. Oh no, yeah, I'm afraid I've heard a lot more. I hear what you're saying, brother, but the reality is that they sometimes they do go down, right? Especially if no one's buying anything, they have no choice. They have no choice but to bring them down, right? Adult collectibles in and of themselves are niche products, right? And this is something that a lot of people have to understand. They if adult collectors stop buying action figures, the that section of the market will completely crash. Right? It really is we who are doing this to ourselves. That's just the way it is. I mean, we just have to come to that realization eventually. Demon Slayer. I want to say X-23. There's a good idea. I mean, she was wonderfully played by that little girl in Logan. Um, but yeah, I would love to see an adult version of X-23. That would be a lot of fun. I think that would be great. It should not be the same girl from. Sorry, the type of. It needs to be her own character from, the Deadpool universe for sure. The Felon Attorney. I think the 80s warped our brains on what men and women should look like, steroids and fad diets. I'm not going to say no. And we are shaped by our environment, but you could argue the same thing with comics. Comics was nothing but brutes and babes back then. You know what I mean? But if you want to talk about how women should look, that has nothing to do with the 80s. Even today, women are supposed to look a certain way. It just it's gone from up here to down there, but in a lot of ways, it's gone from up here and down there. Again, it's both now, right? Overall body shape is impossible, and we're all victims of what society asks us to look like, right? But I think that today's superheroes are a lot more realistic compared to yesteryear, and that has to do with movies, right? But that's not to say that if you go into look in comics now, Superman still is jacked, Batman is still jacked. You know what I mean? All of the major archetypes that existed before, this new age of superheroes are still jacked. You know what I mean? They still look freaking huge. Um, yes, Ryan Reynolds, exactly. Bethany Beth, do you think BBTS will have PowerCon 2023 exclusives? Probably. Very much like they had them that last year where everything got screwed the f up. But yes, I believe that they do have partnerships with PowerCon. But it is also dependent on each of the manufacturers, right? So we shall see. We shall see. Tim, I don't know if they're so niche when it comes to a company like House. No, they're super niche, Tim. They are super niche. And what I mean by that is a kid is not going to buy a $23 action figure. Do you know what I mean? The parents will buy it for that kid, right? And that's great, right? But they have a segment of the market specifically laid out for kids. You know what I mean? Like the Galaxy Squadron, like what's it called? What's it called? Oh God, you know what I'm talking about. All the kids' versions of these things. Uh, Again, they're all kids sections, right? Um, I'm trying to remember what the hell. No, I'm drawing a blank for some reason, but anyway, Black Series and the Vintage Collection, they're way out of the price range of any real kid and any random parent, right? Those toys are being purchased by adults, right? And that's the and again, if you want to buy that version for your kid as an adult, buying it for your son or daughter, that's fine. But again, once we hit a plateau, in terms of like affecting our wallets and affecting our bottom line, there will come a point where people just cannot afford these things, and it's just gonna stop. It will. I mean, not every industry has its breaking point. Ben Grimm, it's we're our own worst enemy. Yes, this is true. Tim, nor is Mattel. They both have their stuffed and kids' toy section and won't. No, I've always said, and I've always said this to begin with. Mattel and Hasbro, their main toy lines are kids' toy lines. Adults' toy lines are a very small market, right? I know a lot of people don't have Toys R Us. We're blessed here in Canada to have Toys R Us. But if you go to Toys R Us, the action figure line, the action figures, the action figure section is 1/10 of the entire store. 1/10. Okay, it is the smallest section in the whole entire store. All right, that speaks volumes. All right, that really does. Adult collectible toys are not. They're the sweetest plum. All right, they are the sweetest plum for these companies because they have the biggest margin in terms of like profit. But in terms of like their overall market share and how they make their billions of dollars, it's not adult collectibles. It's just not. Jeff W. Regarding Portman as Mighty Thor, I understood that she possessed the power of Thor, not the body of Thor. I think it would work well visually. It was the poor writing that fell short in that movie. I enjoyed it for the popcorn movie that it was. I didn't mind it. I thought it was just a fun ride. I wasn't looking for Emmy award winning acting. I wasn't looking for Emmy award winning storytelling. I wasn't looking for any of that. I was looking for me. I was just looking to be entertained, and just have another fun Thor movie, which I did. I thought it was actually just a really fun ride, and you know what? That's all I expect from Marvel movies these days because Marvel movies are not the most intelligent movies in the world. Let's just be perfectly honest. Mothman 46. Captain Marvel has a booty double. Okay, brother. Like I don't know where that came from, but sure, I will defer to your superior knowledge. I have no idea where that comment came from. Tim Hayes, Super 7 sells more niche products though. Of course, they are a boutique company. That's why they've subsisted on the idea of their boutique nature. They sell Sufobi, right? They sell vinyl toys from Japan. They sell they sell very niche Japanese products. You know what I mean? Like apparel. They sell a lot of very, very niche products, right? And it's been their bread and butter for years, right? They've branched into more mainstream toys for adult collectors, but other than that, their main focus and their main bread and butter is still always going to be some sort of vinyl figures that can be sold around the world. The 60s Black Taylor figures are for adults, correct? But I always see all of Hasbro and Mattel products in the kids section at Walmart. Yes, that's because Walmart doesn't know where else to put them. Walmart doesn't have a dedicated adult section. They won't, right? Toys R Us technically still doesn't have an adult toy section. It's still technically, well, actually, the whole the whole of Toys R Us is for kids, right? But they put things where they know the price. It's more price point wise is how they're putting together. Ben Graham, kids are not buying Gargoyles figures. No, they're not. They absolutely are. Definitely not. They're not buying Master Universe figures either. The final attorney. Super 7 is sort of a product of the environment that they specify in the 415, aka San Francisco. Hardly any kids in San Francisco. A lot of rich adults who like to play toys, and they're okay. That's a fair assessment. I mean, I can't dispute any of that. Neil Celestia, hey, what's going on, Neil Celestia? Dedications or insomnia? You decide. You decide. Hugs. I'm kidding, Jay. Keep being awesome. You're awesome, Neil Celestia. Good to see you, my friend. We'll meet up soon. I'm pretty sure. Keep proud to you too. Tim Hayes, nope. At Ben Grimm, but the actual toys made for those were made back in the mid 90s. Okay. What's being made now are just reminders from the 19. Yeah, of course. They're preying on nostalgia. They are predicated. It's all predicated on nostalgia. David Sayer. I thought She-Hulk was good. She-Hulk looked real. I got the figure. I'm happy with it. The figure, yes, the figure looks very, very good. The CGI in the show, kind of weird. Batfan 1. Jay, who would you cast as the new Conan? Honestly, nobody. I don't know too many. I don't follow actors, so I don't know anybody. I don't know anybody who's appropriate. I really would have to do some research. I really I'm trying to think of anybody off the top of my head who could do it, but I really can't. I really can't. Like Hemsworth has the girth. He does. The height, he's way too tall. But he does have, the features. He's got to work on his legs, though. But I don't think... I think Conan is too brutish. He's Hemsworth has too much personality on that end. Yeah, it's hard to say. I really wouldn't be able to tell you right now. I'd have to do a lot of research to figure it out. Draconin. Oh, dang. What did I miss? You missed a lot, brother. Did you ever get the model hero replaced? I just got my email. Finally got my email. So it's coming. It is coming. Tim Hayes. I won't buy 6-inch figures since they don't remind me of my childhood. Well, there you go, brother. I mean, he should his own. Funko Pops get me to the next DVDs and Blu-rays at Walmart, though. I can't do Funkos. And you know what? I think Funko has to diversify more, which is why they bought Mondo. And they got to figure something out fast because the writing's on the wall for them, I think, in a lot of ways. Rhea, what's going on? Haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you, Ray Black. How are you doing? That'll be wicked to meet you, Jay. You know what? If we ever have a chance, I'm always up to meeting people. So that's something I would love to do. I'd love to meet everybody. Draconin, 16 figures remind me of my childhood, just bigger. True. As a matter of fact, that's actually the reason I think of them, because they actually fit in my hand, much the same way figures back in the day fit in my hand. Jeff W., do you enjoy watching MCU movies as a whole? Oh, I do. But it's not a stretch to see that movies are are fire and others are less epic. We get things and some get not so great, but fun in all of them. Absolutely, Jeff. 100%. Road trip. You guys are always welcome here, guys. Good. We would love to see you. Tim Hayes, Rakonin, I grew up with Star Wars figures in the late 1980s, so I can't get into 6-inch ones. No, that's fair. Draconin, comic book movies as a whole need to slow down the releases a bit. They used to be events. Now they're somewhat less special. They feel like there's a certain amount of fatigue at this point. Well, you're not wrong. Tim, can't do Funkos either. They look too cute for my They just don't look like anything to me. Hey, what's going on, Nova? Long time, brother. How are you doing? Anybody pre-ordered the McFarlane Batwing? I told GameStop to put me on the waiting list. We'll see if it actually comes in. They delisted it shortly after. Tim Hayes, I was born in 1977, Draconin. Great year. The fellow attorney, I sold off all my Funko Pops. Yeah, that seems to be a lot of people doing the same thing. A little man with skinny hands. Dude, your hands are just as big as they need to be. Draconin, old toys, bro. Old toy bros unite. Isn't that why we're all here? Isn't that why we're all here? RC, I'm waiting on the 89 Batwing from my McFarlane. There you go, brother. Mafan 46. Pro wrestlers could be used for a ton of comic/cartoon characters. Brian Cage could be Conan. Yeah, but their acting chops are hit and miss. You know what I mean? I think that's really the problem. They need to be able to give a performance. To his credit, Dave Bautista has actually come up in his acting chops. Jeff W., I did order the McFarlane Batwing. I can't wait, dude. Great stuff. Psycho Dad, hey Jay, what do you think of the new Biker Mice from Marge figures? Would you get any? They look interesting. They do, but I think it's a missed opportunity. They didn't actually make the bikes. I know it's hard. It's really hard to sell them with the bikes, but I think that's a missed opportunity. Actually, at Marvel, I still have the old animated Batwing. There you go, dude. That is an amazing figure. That is an amazing vehicle, bar none. Draconin, no way. Orange Cassidy, Conan, or nothing. No, I'm going to go ahead and say no. That doesn't work for me at all. But then again, that's just me. Tim Hayes, Funko will make a bunch of pop culture characters, all cute. Often it will be someone like Alex from Clockwork Orange that was never meant to look cute. Again, it's an aesthetic people have just gravitated towards for the last couple of years. So there's a lot to it. All right, guys, we've been going on for quite some time. I really appreciate all you guys hanging out with me. This is, of course, the highlight of my weekend, guys. Getting to spend some time with you guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you for being here tonight. What a great discussion. Of course, having Ken from Toy Kennections as a guest is always a lot of fun. Definitely give Ken a like and a follow on his channel, Toy Kennections. You guys will not regret it. And, of course, if you're in the Victoria, British Columbia area, definitely head over to the Ultimate... what was the heck was it called again? The Ultimate Toy Fair in Victoria, BC. Guys, definitely head over there. It's a fun little event, and yeah, you might even get to see some celebrities like Toy Kennections there. So it's happening all weekend at 3100 Tillicum Road in Victoria, BC. So guys, definitely head over there. $15 for the weekend, $10 every day. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Last comments before we log off, everybody. Nova Brian Cage did play He-Man in a fan film. He wasn't so bad. There you go. Draconin, Jack Black as the Ultimate Warrior. There you go. That would be fun. Mothman 46, great show. Thank you so much, Mothman. Natural Nate Marvel, did you buy the She-Ra Hordak Mondo 2-pack? No, because I already have She-Ra, and my Hordak's on the way. Hopefully, anyway. I'm gonna have to double check on that. Ray Black, always a great stream, Jay. Geek Proud, a good journey. Good journey to you too, Ray Black, and of course Geek Proud. Lance Jones, awesome stream, Jay. Thank you so much, Lance. Really appreciate that. Frankie Rivera, great stream, Jay. Have a blessed weekend. Good journey and Geek Proud. You too, Frankie. Geek Proud and good journey to you too. Tim Hayes, will you be live streaming it? Will I be live streaming what? my next live stream is Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you'd like to continue our discussion, Tim, definitely be here on Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Draconin, I was super late to the stream, but fun. Thanks, Jay and Chad. You too, Draconin. Have a good night. The Felon Attorney, I can't go to Canada being a felon. Have a good night, the Felon Attorney. You're awesome. The Damon Slayer, Brie Captain Marvel rules. People need to leave Brie Larson and let her be Captain Marvel. Sure, why not? I didn't really mind her. She's fine. I really don't know what the fuss is about. Tim Hayes, the Toy Con. Which Toy Con? I'm not in British Columbia. I'm in Ontario. I'm in a different province altogether. I'm three time zones away from Ken. So yeah, no, I will not be going to the Toy Con. I think Toy Kennections might. You never know. He actually might do a whole. He said he might do a hunting video. So hopefully that's the case. Jeff W. Thanks, Jay. Always a pleasure. Have a great weekend and happy toy hunting, guys. You too, Jeff. Thank you for the super chats, my friend. You are awesome. Haley Drad, Jack Black cast in Mick Foley biopic. Oh, that would be cool. That would be really cool. The Fellow Attorney, Oregon IRL. Good night. Sleep well, Jay and Geek Prey. You too. The Fellow Attorney, Oregon IRL. Draconin. Ooh, dang. Mick Foley, that's perfect. There you go. Yeah, he would be really well done. Tim Hayes, will you be live streaming the Canadian toy conventions you mentioned? Well, I mean the ones that I will go to, yes, but not the one. This one is in Victoria, BC, which I am not. I live in Ontario. Victoria, BC is British Columbia is like again 3 time zones away from me. There you go. Mr. Intensity. What? Mr. Intensity. What's going on, Mr. Intensity? How big are the Hogan's 44 Pythons these days? They're pretty large, especially for his age. I'm pretty sure, but they're definitely not 24s anymore. I'm pretty sure. Thanks, Tim. Appreciate it. Hogan's Joes are 24 inches now. Okay. Were they 48 inches before? Jeez, that's crazy. No matter what, they're still huge. Guys, thank you again for joining me tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure. I hope you're all doing well, staying safe. And as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. Geek Proud, everybody. Geek Proud.